welcome to ZPR, Zanu Project Rethink. I'm Franck Zanu. Today I'm in the studio with a very, very special guest, a wonderful brother whom I just met about a month ago. You're going to hear a brother who have taken a lot of time in his life to do deep search, deep dive, deep thinking about issues affecting people like he and I. Yeah. I went to David's studio to shoot with him about a month ago. Yeah, we were in New York. I thought they were going to have 45 minutes. First he ambushed me. 4 brothers against me. 3 hours long conversation that never wanted to stop. But I got a very special gift from David. He signed his book, which has just come out. Take a look at this. I have just started, but somebody shoved 107 days into my hand, so that interrupted. The Real Black Agenda by Dave Anderson, The Real Black Agenda, exposing the myth, igniting the revolution. Is it on Amazon?
Oh, it's on Amazon, but you can get it directly from me at therealblackagenda.com because Jeff Bezos makes enough money.
So therealblackagenda.com.
Yes, sir.
And also on Amazon.
Yes.
If you want to just tell him the discount code is ZANU05.
That's it.
Dave, thank you very much for coming all the way from Philadelphia this morning.
Oh, Frank,
it's
thank you
great
for
to
having
have
me.
you.
Thank you, man.
Great. All right. Now, from our last conversation, when
sir.
I came to the studio in New York, I drove back home and I said, Brother David has knowledge and you have intention behind it. And you passionately are trying to drive the black agenda, meaning you want people to rethink the way. For me, activism has become too loud for me, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
So much that it drowns the real conversation on both sides.
Certainly.
So this is what I believe it's the most effective way, okay, for us to see, can we bring a new thinking? And so, as you've seen so far, what I do is simple. I try to question the answers that I grew up hearing, learning, knowing, and now being in the United States, all right?
Yes.
So I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Yes, sir.
When I sent you the topic, I simply said, there is no difference between blacks in Africa and blacks in America. By blacks in America, I'm referring to specifically black Americans.
Yes.
I said there is no difference at all. So I'm going to go to that.
Okay.
This took me about a year when I started thinking about this topic, but I was waiting for the right person with whom I can discuss it.
Right.
So after coming to the studio, I said, no, it's got to be David. So the original topic I had, I said, no, let me hear from you. And so notes are taking over the year.
Yes.
I have it here so I don't miss anything.
Certainly.
And I would like you to respond the same way we did it in the studio.
Absolutely.
All right. Here is the first case. African Americans or black Americans, and you are, and I want the audience to know, Dave liked to have rather foundational black Americans.
Yes,
so
sir.
he refers to himself as an FBA, foundational black American.
Yes, sir.
So I may be using the black American because that is
Interchangeably, I'm okay with that. I understand.
Right. The big question in your mind, what is the difference? What is the difference between African Americans in the United States and Africans on the continent?
Well, the one thing that I will say is Africans on the continent, Frank, have a deep-seated tradition that they've been able to keep and protect, even though Africa as a whole, all 54 countries pretty much are colonized. You have traditions and dances and things that are rich in culture that goes back thousands and thousands of years prior to recorded history. That is a huge advantage over what we had to create from scraps and genetic engineering, overbreeding, all the things that happened to foundational black Americans over the course of 400 years. I think that the problem has always been, just to what you said when you were with me in New York, is that there is a severe disconnect and that we don't really have that bridge, but we have been colonized in different ways. When you look at how families have been impacted with all of the propaganda, the media, firestorm of you need to be independent. You've got, the black wave of feminism, which in and of itself has been proven to be funded by the CIA, which really interesting. You start to see the erosion of the black family. And what I find very interesting from a historical perspective is J. Edgar Hoover actually said the two biggest threats to America is the rise of a black messiah and black unity. What is more unified than a black family? So if you disrupt that, then you get all the chaos that has come after that over the past 40, 50 years. So I think those are distinct differences.
All right. Slavery did happen.
Certainly.
So of course, and I'll say our because of course some of my families were taken away too.
Sure.
So slavery happened. Great-grandfathers were in slavery. Here's my question. What would one say if the question is asked, what is the problem of the black American in America as we speak? What is the problem?
The problem with the black American or black America as we speak today is not slavery. Mm-hmm. The problem is indoctrination, and the problem is we don't have an opportunity to separate culturally from every and anybody. And here's what I mean by that. We don't control our media. We do not control our police. We do not control our farming. We do not control any means of growth and sustainability to be culturally solid amongst ourselves. And that in and of itself, we're the only group in America that, while everyone has to deal with everyone, I have Jewish friends and business partners, I have Asian friends and business partners, I have African friends and business partners. The difference is no one is so ingrained and involved where they are sharing more of the profits, more of the structure, more of the say-so than when it comes to other people prospering and benefiting off of our growth or lack thereof. When you look at things like the 13th Amendment, everybody focuses on, yay, Lincoln freed the slaves. But when you look at it from a historical context and you read the Constitution, which I know you have, the 13th Amendment says there is no slavery in the United States. Slavery is completely illegal, asterisk, unless you commit a crime. So how do I make sure that I'm able to get enough people to run this now profit center that is slavery? Slavery didn't end, it just adapted, it changed, it transformed. And if 1 in 3 people from, you can go, my lifetime, forget everything else, my lifetime, the 1994 Clinton-Biden crime bill, which said 3 strikes, you're in for life. If you've got a piece of crack the size of a quarter, you're going up for 25 years. And the person who said that has a son that had crack all over his room with a prostitute. There are all these things in place to keep us at each other's throats, arguing about nonsense, depending on a system, being told that we are less than. The history of American history starts with the default being whiteness and not the fact that we built this country, not the fact that major inventions, by and large, at least 80 to 95%, depending on whose estimation, came from foundational black American minds, but we weren't allowed to patent a lot of stuff. All of these things make you feel from birth that you're inferior, because the second you come out, there's all of these categories and things that happen, and there's nothing on the other end culturally from a human perspective to reinforce it. And I will always challenge my foundational black American brothers and sisters and say, I find it very troubling that so many of us spend so much time talking about, oh my goodness, they're taking history out of the school. They're taking black history out of the school. My Jewish friends don't have Jewish history, in their schools. None of the other friends that I have that are of any other culture have their history highlighted in their schools, because history and cultural responsibility should start at home. If somebody wants to touch on it, that's fine. But if they pulled the history out of the schools, there's so many of us who contradict ourselves. In that we'll say, well, the white man's the enemy, the government's out to get me, but then you send your child to a government-run school and you want your enemy to not only indoctrinate, but then teach your child about who they are better than you. That to me.
Before I come back to where you said, when I ask, what is the problem that anybody, if the question is asked, what is the problem of the Black American? And you said how you are not in charge, and then you listed all the things. Before I come to that, I'm glad you used the word problem. Now, this is what I understand when anybody says there is a problem with a person, a place, or a thing. There is a problem. When you say there is a problem, it means once upon a time, that place, that thing, or that person didn't have that condition, which is now being described as a problem.
Correct.
Yesterday, I didn't have a toothache. I ate very well, right? This morning, my tooth is aching.
Right.
I would go to the doctor and say, I have a problem.
Right.
How do I know I have a problem? Because yesterday, I didn't have the toothache.
Correct.
So the question I'm going to ask is this. Where, outside the United States of America, where on Mother Earth, including the 54 countries in Africa, where can you describe to say that blacks living here do not have the problems you have just described? Number two, when did blacks never have these problems you have described? Let's have to do a comparison. The ones who are still on the motherland and then ones who are here. We have to be able to pinpoint a place in time and a place where the problems you discussed, if we look outside the United States, we can see blacks do not have that problem because they don't live here. Where?
I can't call his name, but I love this guy. He's like literally sticking it to everybody right now. Paid off all the debts and for his country. What is it?
Are you talking about Ibrahim Traore?
Traore, thank you. Yes, I love that guy because he's not taking no shorts. He's like, listen, oh, we owe you. Here's your money. You know, oh, we're shutting this off. Oh yeah, no, to hell with Google. And he's literally going for it. And I'm afraid the clock is on him. I think, and I don't know for sure because I haven't talked to the people there, but by and large, he reminds me a lot of Gaddafi, who people don't know historically because over here they painted Gaddafi as a terrorist. He wanted to have his own currency. He wanted to make sure that his people were well taken care of. If you wanted to go to, and again, I'm getting this secondhand from history and from people that I've talked to, Libyan Americans, who have said, yeah, if you wanted to go to school, they pay for it. If there was somebody who was sick and they did not have the technology there, they would send you to there. So yeah, that seems better. And I think Traore is taking the bull by the horns and saying, this is what we're not going to tolerate. I think that is an example, two examples of where those things could easily be looked at and say, okay, yeah, that is a much better, more advantageous, more take the bull by the horn situation than I think we have here in the States.
It should be a different conversation. Otherwise, I would like to, because once I pick it on it, it will take us off the road. There is no progress, not even an inch of progress in Burkina Faso because of Ibrahim Traore.
Wow.
Totally false.
Wow.
Where did an African government that has been poor since independence have the money to say, you want your debt? Here, I pay you. Where was the money lying all this time, and yet they have the debt and he didn't pay it?
I don't know. That is a very good question. Educate me.
Ask yourself this. You live in America.
Certainly.
You've never been to Burkina Faso.
Correct.
How did you come to know that Ibrahim Traore is doing all these things?
Because every time I turn on the TV, the white folks are saying what he's doing and how pissed off
Social
they are about
media.
it. Social media.
This is the biggest, second one in the history of Africa. Russian propaganda. I have a friend who lives in Ivory Coast right now as a journalist for the last 19 years. So he pendulums between Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
He knows the place.
Right.
He's a journalist.
Right.
And he's telling me, he's crying, how the whole world, in France, in Caribbean, they are marching in the streets over Burkina Faso. Nobody has been there. How did people come to know about this man? Number two, which major world news have you seen interview this guy? None.
See, and then to me, and
Number three,
yeah,
think, Dave, he got in power only 24 months ago. You really know a black man in Africa. A 36-year-old military man took office in 24 months. Do you know how long it takes for you to put out a contract and have people bid for it, vet, screen, and award the contract before a factory is built, and he did all this in 24 months? It's not true.
Somebody's
the
backing
biggest
him.
Russian propaganda. You know why?
Why?
Russia is propping this guy up so that when something happens to him, Africans would blame the West
instead of blaming
themselves. Burkina Faso is a basket of coup d'etat from the day of independence.
So he's installed.
Oh, no, they make coups against themselves.
Huh.
He overthrew the guy, Henry, who was only 9 months in power. He overthrew him. How do you judge a man in power for 9 months?
You can't.
You
There's
can't.
not enough time.
And he's going around wearing a French beret, a French hand gloves, a French pistol, a French armored car, a French jeep, a French military, everything French, and go to Russia to say, yes, I kick one of you out of Europe, kick you out, and I want to deal with another European country. Let's not go that. Okay, here is the problem I'm trying to share with you.
Sure.
My aim for this conversation, Dave, please be with me, is
Absolutely.
that we got to find a way to examine the problem.
Certainly.
And it will change our activism. It will change the way we are tackling this problem.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go on what I said. How do you know if there is a problem? You got to look at the person and see when the person didn't have this condition. Was there a time in our life on Mother Earth, the last 400 years, where what you see about black people was never the case? Let me read some things to you.
Sure.
Here are the following I put down. On the continent, 54 countries.
Yes.
African Americans, 50 million.
Yeah.
These, and then of course the Caribbean.
Sure.
These are the common things you will see every time you interact with these two groups.
Okay.
One, black on black crime. Oh, we beat you to it. Only that we don't have a media that reports it. As I'm speaking to you right now, in the streets of Lagos, in the streets of Ghana, in the streets of Liberia, we cannot resolve conflict. You do well here more than we do. The only thing is you guys have a gun. That's it. We use knives and bottles and sticks on each other. Black on black crime? No. We beat you to it. Two, corruption. Oh, it's between all of us. Mayors from Illinois, super mayor, and you name them, Bali Williams and everybody. Yes. We have 10 times that in Africa. Blight. You trash your neighborhood. Oh, we are the champion of it in Africa. The first thing you notice about every African city, as soon as you get out of the airport, is blight. Trash in the streets of every city. Baby mamas and baby daddies, like I said on your show, the reason ours is not known is because of the family structure. Correct. When you have the baby, your grandmother takes it, nobody knows, and you just mix back to the crowd. Right. But if you go to Kenya right now, you would cry for how many 19, 20, 21, 23-year-olds walking around with babies whose fathers are just walking around, don't care. You're talking about lack of maintenance, the same thing. Ghettos, plenty. Do you know a place called Kibera in Kenya?
Yes.
Soweto?
Yes.
Those are the biggest slums all over every city in Africa. We have our ghettos. Financial illiteracy? Oh, we two of us, we are in Olympics for it, okay? Health disparities? Yes. We eat bad. Our women are walking around out of shape, unhealthy. Diabetes is across the continent of Africa, and sickle cell. Nepotism? The same thing. Unproductive relationship with money. Oh, we are top of it. You talk about bling. Have you seen Davido? Have you seen Burna Boy? Have you seen? Every kid in the streets of Accra wants to buy something more expensive than he can afford. Absolutely. We have the same thing in common. You blame white supremacy and racism for the reason blacks' social economic is low. We blame imperialism and neocolonization. We just gave it two
same
different
system,
names.
Different names.
Same different names, okay?
I'm with you.
Okay. And you change names, we change names, okay? You were once upon a time colored people, Negro, Afro-American, Black American, African-American, and now foundational Black American. Once upon a time, it was Upper Volta, is now Burkina Faso. Once upon a time, it was Gold Coast, now is Ghana. Once upon a time, it was the Republic of Dahomey, it is now Benin, my country. Yes, once upon a time, it was French Sudan, now it's Sudan. And the list go on. And on. We change the name thinking the condition will go away, the same you do here. There is nothing at all different between the African American and American. And number two, there is no place on earth that you would go to, either it's in the Caribbean, on the mothership, where blacks were different from what they are now once upon a time. No. So, when our forefathers were in the ship arriving in America, the question we need to ask ourselves, were those bankers and doctors and technicians and engineers who were hauled away, so they lost it? No. They are worse than what we have now on the continent. Nothing has happened. There is no new injury inflicted upon the black man on earth. Dave, the problem we have is just two things.
Talk to me.
With the African Americans, the problem is this. The African American do not hate or fear the white man as they do each other. And you know why the African American, by and large, are angry? They know deep down, when they look at the white man, they don't hate them. They don't fear them. And it bothers them. Why is it so? Because we are supposed to hate and fear them, but we don't. And not getting the answer to that feeling makes them angry. A South African friend of mine, when I went to speak in South Africa, told me the same thing. He said, Frank, don't be fooled by any South African. No black South African would tell you he doesn't admire the white man. He's lying. But you can't say it. It's just too difficult to say.
So are you saying that we love the white man too much and we should hate them in order to progress?
No, I'm not saying you should hate them.
Right.
I'm saying there is a phenomena which is inexplicable. I feel it myself. That if the African American truly fears and hates the white man, not a single African American would have remained in the United States of America.
Yeah, you made that point when we were together last
Yes.
time. And I
Number two, take a look at what we do. I didn't mention that. You go to the continent, our women are walking around, even to the orange selling lady, with fake blonde hair, eyelashes. We bleach our skins. Your women here wear fake blonde hair, eyelashes, bleach their skin. Serena Williams do not have fear for a white blonde hair which she picked from her closet, polished it all morning, kissed it, and wore it. Yet, she had a trauma touching a fake cotton in a hotel hallway.
Yeah, I saw that. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, and I will tell you like I tell anybody else. I am nobody's spokesperson but myself and how I see things. However, I am with you because I was like, why is she outraged? It's a cotton plant. But again, a lot of this is performative. A lot of this is...
It's not performative, Dave. I'm telling you.
You honestly believe that Serena Williams was really, really just so grief-stricken by seeing a cotton plant?
No, she wasn't. Is the point I'm trying to make. The answer she doesn't have. You will not find a Jew living in Germany and decided to marry a Nazi general after the Holocaust. You wouldn't find a Korean living in Japan and decide the comfort women, the one that were taking Second World War to be used by army, and then turns around and marries a Japanese,
right,
and live in Japan with him.
Correct.
So Serena Williams is torn inside the same, the collective is torn inside. If truly we fear and hate these people of what they did to us, she feels comfortable with a white husband, just like many of them,
right,
and a blonde hair. She who claimed that she represents the black. So she has to find something to see if something can explain what she's feeling. She wasn't faking it. No.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Again, exceptions don't disprove the rule. The majority of black Americans are married to other black Americans. 85% for men, 92% for women. Serena Williams is lightning in a bottle, a once-in-a-lifetime athlete, and truly the exception to the rule. I also believe that there are a bunch of black people, both on the continent, throughout the diaspora, who have Stockholm syndrome and feel like they love white people to a certain extent in a certain way that isn't.
I was on a dating site in Kenya.
Oh my God, a dating site in Kenya.
When I was there, when I was living in Kenya.
Right.
Okay? And you'd be surprised. I did it because my column is always life and culture.
Right.
So I got to do these things in order to understand so that I can speak deeply.
Right.
I promise you 75% on the Kenyan girls' site. Please, white men only. And that is only, you're thinking it's only Kenya. Ghana too the same.
So you would think that's an indoctrination type of
No,
sickness?
not at all.
So what exactly is it that's making people think that it's like this is a thing where it's like I gotta look white, I gotta be white? I mean, skin bleach is probably the top beauty product on the continent.
That's correct.
It's sixth here in the United States,
correct.
which in and of itself screams of self-hate unless you have some type
It's not
of
self-hate.
vitiligo.
I totally disagree.
Okay,
It's
so
not
tell me
self-hate.
what it is. I'm fascinated by this. What do you think? If it's not self-hate, if it's not trying to assimilate, if it's not trying to garner the white gaze, right? What is it? Because here, I don't know if it is there. You have to educate me on this because I've never lived or worked on the continent. We had to enact something called the Crown Act because women were being policed by their hair. Hell, if I was still working in broadcasting, there might be some people upset with the fact that I've got, long locks. Like they were policing our hair. But a lot of people, especially our women, perm their hair, straighten their hair, didn't wear braids, all of those things because their white bosses had an issue with it. So tell me why there's so much skin bleaching on the continent. Tell me what that is. If it's not self-hate and it's not indoctrination, what is it?
Back in the 50s and the 60s, you would see when the zoot fashion, in Malcolm X, when he poured the perm on his head and stuck it in the toilet.
That conch, yeah.
Now, that was also on the continent. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, perm our hair. Yeah. James Brown, Al Sharpton. The name doesn't stop. There's a congressman who still perms his hair, and that perming happened, except the man didn't bleach. Then he went to the Caribbean when Vice Cartel led the revolution for bleaching. There is a boxer in Ghana, just as popular as Vibes Cartel, who also bleaches, he and his wife, and he says, yes, white is more beautiful than black, why not? So, the white fixation is not peculiar to only black people.
Right.
Koreans and others want their daughters to be lighter. I don't think it's self-hate at all. When we do so, we minimize it and we get stuck without understanding deeper. It could be natural.
Natural.
Yes. Because if it is not, then why would a certain color permeate the entire world like that?
Because that same certain color runs the entire world like that. They control the dictionary, they control the marketing, they control the media, they are the default. I have two daughters, right? You met my daughters. Both of my daughters, even though they are 15, 16 years apart in age, I remember buying them Barbies.
Right.
The default Barbie automatically is blonde. Even in the Barbie movie, which, took over the theaters for a good several months, the main Barbie was played by Margot Robbie, blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Hitler ran an entire campaign talking about the pure Aryan race. What is the pure Aryan race? Blonde hair, blue-eyed, light skin. You saw how blonde-haired and blue-eyed Hitler was.
Yeah.
You can't divorce. There's no.
I understand what you're saying.
There's nowhere on the planet.
There is one thing I believe,
right,
and I believe it very deeply, and I've observed it among people also. When you see value in something and you believe completely that this is for me beautiful, it has value.
Right.
No one can tell you any different. So if you blame the media and propaganda, I will go with you.
Sure.
But then I will ask the question, why did it work?
Again, I go back to the flea in a jar experiment.
That's correct. I was coming to that.
There you go.
When I came on your show,
yes,
you said that, and that thing is stuck with me.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see, is it in the book? Because I
did not put it in the book. It's in my next book, actually.
Very good. I want an expansion of it.
Yes, sir.
You said there was an experiment. You put a bunch of crickets in a jar, put a paper on it, and punch holes so they can breathe.
Correct.
The crickets try to jump, but they can only hit the paper and go back down.
Correct.
When they release them, they could only jump that height.
Right.
When it comes to humans in America, who performed the experiment?
When it comes to humans in America, who performed that experiment? I think
was it blacks performing it on blacks?
No.
Okay. Then who performed it?
White people.
How did they perform it?
Oh, well, let's see. There's slavery. in and of itself, but that's an act. Let's talk about the conditioning that went along with slavery, because in order to break someone, you also have to break their mind. And the one weapon they used to break their mind was the one thing that has worked all over. And historically, this has been proven, and that is the Bible. They use the Bible as a weapon. To this day, I'm a Christian, I'm also a minister. The thing that I find very interesting is, to this day in the black church, for lack of a better term, those traditions of taking Mass's best clothing and wearing it on Sunday. That's where you get the Sunday best thing. That's why people dress up. That's why women have these big old hats. All of these things, that's indoctrination. You look at what had happened, and if Jesus is white, and that goes all the way back to Cesare Borgia being cast as Christ, even though skin of bronze, hair like wool, he ain't got none. But that's the Jesus that we worship.
But I will
no matter
come to
where
my
we
same
go.
question. Why does it work?
It works because if you don't have any other thing to go to, and this is all that's
Why
being
don't
fed.
you have anything other to go to if you have a society? Societies have things they go to. Koreans were enslaved by Japanese.
Certainly.
When it says zainichi, means they are referring to the generation of Koreans who got stuck in Japan and couldn't go back after the war.
Right.
But they live in Aichi prefecture. They cut themselves. They were brutally, and you know Japan's, they're not Christians, so they are very, very brutal. Except Western Europe, every place on earth you can trace slaves. None of the syndromes work on them because they don't exhibit the things we are describing today. In Japan, Koreans don't even take Japanese names. They cut off completely because they said, we don't know where to go, but we're going to be here. We all know, and you've read the Bible, the Jews, of course, they did go through slavery.
Certainly.
Brutally.
Absolutely.
The Holocaust was brutal. But they don't exhibit the things we are describing today because of slavery. And you can look at the Osu of Nigeria and many, many other places. So I am saying it is very powerful when we rather look at why did this work on us? We may find a way out for our children. And I am insisting that we need to change the narrative.
I wholeheartedly agree. That's why I wrote the book.
I totally do not believe, because I've asked from the beginning, we have to look the African American, the black American, socioeconomics, political, all the things they said they don't have.
Right.
And then you look on the continent.
Yeah.
Now, 13%. So African Americans make up to 50%, 50 million. Let's just run up the number.
Sure, why not?
Okay, take the entire African Americans and find a country in Africa and put them there. And it becomes a republic.
Yeah.
What will be different between them and the existing countries today in Africa?
I don't know, but let's pretend. I don't think much would be.
That's correct. Which means the point I'm trying to make is this. For us to be able to say that something has gone wrong with a certain group of people or a place or a thing, we need to look at the origin
of what that thing is.
That's correct. And see, once upon a time, what was different? Number two, those on the ship coming here, what did they have? So in fact, the African American today, we in Africa actually look to the African American and say they are more successful than we are. The only problem, and as a black man, a very proud black man, Certainly. And it was the first time I'm using this word, is that I only can conclude the only problem with the African American or black people is that we are constantly, and unfortunately for the black African, they live side by side with the white man, and they are constantly comparing, thinking that the white man's position, either is socioeconomic or whatever it is what they are supposed also to be.
Right.
And when they are not, then the conclusion is, therefore somebody must be the one doing it to us. Because you see, the black American has not, many of the majority have not been to the continent.
Correct.
Those of them who went, and I met two people, he said, when I got down and I went to the hotel, I was saying, I wish my ticket was open. I leave the next day.
So,
I had something here I added. the cricket experiment.
Sure.
Okay, so I don't know what it prevented black people from doing, because it didn't prevent black people from excelling at the NBA, NFL, hip hop, you name all kinds of things. Like,
Sure.
for example,
I love this. This is my favorite
Yes.
part. Watch this, Nancy.
the same thing in other ethnic groups here. Or you say, oh, they excel in this, but not all of them. So it's not all black people
No.
who excel in the NBA or the other ventures we have, other businesses we have.
Certainly
The
not.
thing is, I'm asking, how many black people should become like Oprah Winfrey, I'm just throwing something there, for us to say there's no more problem?
So here's the thing. I've never been one, and most people will tell you this, even scientists will tell you this, exceptions should never disprove the rule. Exceptions are exceptions. For as long as people have been studying athleticism, there was a distinct belief that the human being did not have the capability of running a 4-minute mile, right? And a almost looked upon, washed up guy named Roger Bannister blew that theory out of the water. When he did it, all of a sudden you had kids everywhere, all across the world doing it, but they have to have something to aspire to. However, it was exceptional. You got a better chance of scoring the winning touchdown on the Super Bowl and then having sex with America's Next Top Model in the end zone than you do getting into the NBA, the NFL, or having a platinum career in hip hop. That is a rarity. What is a reality is that even with that, and Chris Rock said this, and I will always die on this hill, the person that pays Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, whomever you like, is wealthy, while Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry are rich.
Yes.
Everything you named is still being controlled by somebody who puts that paper on top of that jar
Yes.
and pokes the holes in it. So
Absolutely.
that in and of itself isn't enough. And
But my question is, why is it that when you look at the African Americans, you say they excel in these areas? And it's true, nobody can listen. You know what is funny? Every country from Europe and the Middle East and Asia would go to Africa to scout and recruit soccer players and basketball players, including America.
Yes.
Olajuwon, Mutombo, and a host of them, right?
Yes.
Then Europe, most countries will come to the United States also to recruit Brittany the one who went to Russia and got locked up.
oh, Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner, the Ball brothers, playing in China, Bosnia, Russia, right?
Sure.
So that's another similarity between the two of us.
Right.
So the question I'm asking is, yes, you're right. The exception doesn't make the rule. But however, groups are known by a few who highlights what the group is good at. Why is it that the cricket experiment doesn't prevent us from jumping high and dunking? Why does it not prevent us from having the touch zone, end zone dance? Why does it not prevent us from this powerful hip hop industry that we are the ones that make money for the wealthy and then we get rich? You have to look at those and say, but we do excel in some areas, just like Indians are found on Silicon Valley. Yeah. We are found in this.
Right.
But then the question I am still coming to is, we need to arrive at a place where our children will begin to hear from us.
Right. And I'm in agreement with that.
Absolutely nothing. There's no new injury being inflicted on a black man on the surface of the earth.
Certainly. Let's go there. Let's concede that point, Frank. Frank's right. There's nothing new under the sun. Great. You know what? You know what's missing? The thing that is missing is what I talk about in the Real Black Agenda. And that is, if we started to circle our wagons around ourselves, like even when I spoke to you last month, we talked about how in Africa, like you said, Pan-Africanism can never happen because it's a joke in and of itself. You've got people in the same country who are in different tribes who can't even get along, but you expect the entire diaspora to just figure it out. And guess what? You're right. Having said that, though, to your question, I want to make sure I stay to the question is, what do we do when it comes to our children being able to see an example? The thing that I think needs to happen is we have mastered talent. We have mastered athleticism. We have mastered culture and taste making and being the blueprint for all things entertainment, athleticism, cool, all of that. There's nobody cooler than us. Yeah. Cool, great. What we need to do is start internalizing the systems by which to monetize those things. That is what is missing. And that's why I wrote this book. That's why I retired from broadcasting. That's why I'm a business coach. That's why I'm a serial entrepreneur. That's why, I mean, you saw my daughter's website. You see what she does. I believe if we're going to be an example, we got to stop having this conversation. Oh, Jamal, you need to have a wicked jump shot. Or, you know, Pookie's going to go in that basement and rap. Get past that. Okay. And understand that if you want to go into the music industry, you must first master the music business, and now is the best time to do so. If you look at somebody like Master P, for example, who was a rapper, who is now a business mogul. He has cereal, he has ice cream, he's got very expensive sneakers, just like Reebok or Nike and all that, Italian leather, phenomenal quality sneakers. He became a businessman. Because we don't study the business of music. We don't study the business of industry. We just want to get signed. We're looking for a savior. If we get rid of the I need a savior complex and realize that everything we need is right here and amongst ourselves, and we eliminate the access to other people coming in and pilfering us for pennies on the dollar, if we stop stepping over dollars to get to dimes, we could do what you say, and then everybody get on the same page about, hey, let's find a place of land. I mean, you look at the Mormons; they're all in Utah. You look at people who went back and went to Liberia, and I know Liberia is a crap show, but the idea of, like you said, having all of us go and be one place, autonomous, I think that's a beautiful thing. And like I told people, I've lived in 34 cities in 19 states. I have yet to find Brother Town or Black Girl Magicville.
I'm not going to bet a dollar on what you're proposing because it's not going to happen.
I know it ain't going to happen.
But why? Is the fact I'm trying to share with you.
The same reason I can call my wife right now and say, honey, what do you want for dinner?
Muhammad Ali was a great sportsman, a good boxer. No, not good. I mean, just a phenomenon, we should say.
More books written about Muhammad Ali than there are about Jesus Christ. Absolutely.
But he's not going to manage himself. That's a talent of another person.
Certainly.
Okay. I don't manage myself. I don't produce myself.
No.
I can't do it. You put me behind the scene right now, even the best interviewer, I will destroy it because I don't know how to manage.
Correct.
Blacks are doing what they are good at.
Right. Are you saying we can't be good at managing ourselves?
That is why we're not doing it.
Ah.
How many NBA teams do we have? About 29, I believe.
One, maybe two.
No. I'm saying the whole.
Oh, I think it's like 29.
29.
Between 29 and 32. I don't have the exact number.
Behind the scenes, and I've done some reading on them in the description of the staff.
Right.
Behind the scenes in the management, franchise, endorsement, corporate PR, all that is Ivy League white Jewish boys who are making this thing work so LeBron can make $17 million an hour or a year.
Oh, we're just not going to talk about Rich Paul? Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, the guy he grew up with, the black guy married to...
That his agent, but I'm saying the franchise management
the infrastructure,
itself.
absolutely.
That's correct,
Everybody's in a Jewish system where they profit off of our...
No, they don't. If they didn't manage it, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
The management of the franchise, it's not just a skill anybody can learn and do. If it were, then how come we have not? You see, I like just questioning it. Look at the gentleman whose name was named after the road going to the airport, the baseball.
Yeah.
What is his name again? Jackie.
Robinson.
Jackie left a Negro league because it was being managed by black people.
That's halfway true and halfway not.
Okay.
Here, because again, one of my neighbors was a Homestead Gray. I love the Negro Leagues. It's a big thing for me. The majority of the Negro League teams were run and owned by white people. The thing of it is, the ones that were run and owned by black people, they were doing different things. They were offering spectacle. They were having concessions. They were doing things that the white folks had not caught up with.
So when
yet.
the Brooklyn 49 went to him and said, look, you're coming to play for us.
The
team
Dodgers,
members the Dodgers, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're not happy with it. He said, look, he can have the color of a stripe of a zebra. He's going to play to make us money. He left his league. He left it because he knew that this place would manage and make me rich. He went in and he didn't fail. He did it. What I'm trying to say is we got to focus on what we are good at. And the reason we have not been able to, we are the greatest basketball players in America. Well, it is simple. If you see that people are doing something good, you just call it investment and you make money off them. How come of the 29, only one is managed by a black man and even is not winning. Jordan is the marvel of basketball,
Certainly.
yet he couldn't manage his own Wizards.
Yeah, yeah. I agree
So yes, what you said is sentimental and it's true if we could do it. What I'm saying is, African Americans have done exactly what Africans have done. One mistake we made, Dave.
What's that?
And you're not going to agree with me.
Of course I'm not. But I love you, Frank.
Listen, we made enemies. We kept the enmity with our former enemies. Africa has been poisoned by Russia to look at Europe as an enemy. Dave, I've been around and I know. If Africa, look, Australia still flies the Union Jack, has a great relationship with Britain. Look at Australia. Japan was bombed by the United States of America with 2 atomic bombs. No other human country has ever suffered.
Correct.
Look at the 2 of them, right?
Buddy, buddy.
They are making money. Germany and Russia and Israel even have a better relationship than they were. New Zealand and UK, every country in Europe and everywhere else that maintained a good relationship with their former colonizers, they are all doing well. Yes. Africa was poisoned because we don't write books to teach each other. We're poisoned by Russia, and we made enemy with all European countries because Russia knows that if we make enemy with the West, then the West can't get us to support them, then they have an upper hand. The same thing African Americans have done. They've made or kept the enmity between them and their former enemies, which is the white man.
So you're saying that
our children will benefit. They'll be somewhere if somebody can lead the fight, and I believe you can do it. You're charming. You're knowledgeable. You sank back
I feel
up.
like I'm being recruited.
You sank back up for Teddy Pendergrass.
Sure did.
You look young, but people would think that, yes, you look almost like 32 when I met you. I thought, yes.
That's what weight loss does. Weight loss and
correct.
drinking water will do that.
But I think if we remove that barrier between our kids, the next generation, Anderson, we will be far, far, far ahead. We need it in South Africa for Julius Malema to stop the devil's speech.
Yeah, that's insane.
We
And play
need it
John
in
Cena's
Nigeria.
theme song.
That's
That was
correct.
wild. That was wild.
And we need it here.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think one of the things, although I don't think I'm a black leader by any far stretch of the imagination, what I do think is 2 things. Number one, I wrote this book and I'm writing a series of books to not only talk about the problems, but talk about the solutions.
That's correct.
And I think one of the most important things is, I'm weird. Like, I'm a weird person, Frank.
Describe that.
Okay. I have a speech impediment. I speak professionally.
You said that for about 3 long minutes when I was in the studio with you.
Yes.
What are you talking about? You overcame it, you mean?
Huh?
You overcame it?
Oh, I overcame it, but still, sometimes if I get frustrated, ask my wife in an argument, I'll be like,
Oh, I see.
So that in and of itself, but years and years of speech therapy, years and years of non-regional diction, this voice is my voice, but I'm from the hood, I talk like this. You know what I mean? That's my relaxed voice, but I speak in non-regional diction because I'm a professional broadcaster. I'm dyslexic. I have dyscalculia. You're not going to find a word out of place in there, Frank. I work hard. I edit. But the thing of it is, I think those things can be overcome. Can everybody do what I've done, put in that type of work, have that type of nurturing? No. I had a college professor for an uncle. I have a teacher for a mother. I had a teacher for a grandmother. I had a teacher for a stepfather. I have a daughter who teaches. I'm exceptional. Can it happen? Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal gives the most horrible interview. Ladies and gentlemen, I think right now, we're going to sit here and we're going to do this. It's going to be crazy. However, Shaquille O'Neal owns more stock in the Marilyn Monroe estate than the people related to Marilyn Monroe. He owns the name, images, and likeness of Elvis Presley and several others, including himself, and he licenses those things out. He's a basketball player, and if you had told me that Shaq, who breaks backboards when I was a kid, was going to be up there with Magic Johnson, I would have told you were crazy. You were smoking all kinds of crack. Yeah. Magic Johnson, phenomenal business person. Changed the face of Starbucks, changed TGI Fridays. It can happen. We have to be exposed to it.
That is what I'm trying to say. Magic Johnson, as soon as he got out or retired, we knew him with theaters, right?
Right.
Backed by Sony.
Yes.
But that is the relationship he created with them.
Correct.
He and Larry Bird became the closest friend. He went to his house to eat. Today, when he's on a show with him, he laughs. Yeah. But he never says so about even other black players. This is my friend. I've always known him. All the people you're mentioning, yes, Shaki was talking about the businesses he runs, and somebody asked him, how do you get said, look, my white friends, they always tell me what to do. My white friends, okay? He has not sold one business. He sold Mr. General, the insurance company. But I am saying, can we start? I like what you said here. Let's own our own PR firms, our own branding firms. Let's begin to understand how our content can be monetized.
Correct.
But rely on someone who knows how to do it. And let's break that barrier down for the enmity to go forever, and we will realize that we are sitting on talent, but we have built a wall because of the militant message we were fed in the 60s by the Malcolm X, the Al Sharptons. Everyone fed us, but they were right at the time. Because with the emotion they had,
and what
that
was
is the
happening.
only thing they could say about. But I'm relying on the Dave Andersons of today, man. And with that, guys, Dave got on the train 3 a.m. all the way from Philly to come to Bridgeport. If you guys know, that's 3 hours of ride. I owe him a lot. I've met him. I've been on his show, 3 hours of recording. And today he hasn't disappointed me. If you guys can, this is a different type of book. I have taken a look at the introduction. I read the first part. There's no anger in it.
No.
Now, you may have some questions about the things, but yet he says something. He's not a leader. Whoever writes a book is already taking a path leading. I've also met his family, beautiful children.
Thank you, sir.
And Dave, there's one different thing about you, is you are the only black man who is even more knowledgeable than most of them who have come on the show, and yet you have a wonderful way of controlling your emotions.
Yeah, what am I going to get angry about? I'm here to learn. This is my brother, man. Let me tell y'all something.
Thank you so much.
Listen, for the people in the comment section, I will tell you, he's not paying me to be here. Frank
not
is
at all.
Absolutely a perpetual student. He is a person that wants to learn. He wants to challenge thinking, and that's what I do. I want to challenge thinking. I want to learn. I don't think I have all the answers. I don't think Frank has all the answers, but I think if we're able to have dialogue and figure things out, we can have answers, and that's how we build forward together.
What do you think about Amanda Seals? Is that her name?
Okay, so wow.
Okay,
no, I want to answer this.
No, I got the answer already.
Oh, no, you don't have the answer.
Okay.
So again, you and I are critical thinkers.
Yes.
You and I understand, and when I say this, I want to be clear.
Yeah.
I don't think all women are emotional basket cases.
Okay.
I don't even think Amanda Seals is an emotional basket case, although she can exhibit emotional basket case behavior.
Okay.
She got on an Instagram live and said, why is it that some black men feel like they need to withhold their vote? I took that as a personal challenge, and so I jumped on her live. And I told her, the reason that we want to withhold our vote is because in the United States of America, and please stop me when I go wrong, Frank, the United States of America is a constitutional republic where we have people representing us, right? Whether you're a Republican or Democrat, those are the two major parties. You can go Green Party, you can go Independent, but you have people to represent your voice as part of the electorate.
Right.
Everybody goes to those representatives to get things on their behalf.
Correct.
There's a lobby system here, right? There's only one black lobby on Capitol Hill. Most people don't know this, called the FSIC. I know because I'm a part of that lobby. I'm doing the work. The thing that I was trying to explain to her was, every time you say, oh, this is the worst time because Mitt Romney or John McCain or Ross Perot or George Bush, or insert whichever evil white Republican you got now, is coming and they're going to send us back. And what did Joe Biden say? They're going to put us back in change. She was like, no, this time is critical. I said, every time was critical.
That's correct.
Every other person in the United States, every other group, gay, straight, lesbian, Chinese, Nigerian, they all have representation on both sides of the aisle. We're the only group, foundational black Americans are the only group who vote 90% one way on average. And she said, well, I just can't talk to you, and da-da-da. And she got frustrated and hung up and then did a live about it and then apologized to me in my DMs because she...
So the very thing I see with her debate style, she does it when she
does it publicly, she does it privately. Okay. That's who she is.
So I'm not crazy. I just wanted to get... All right. I know you...
God bless Amanda Seals. I would love to have a legitimate, serious conversation with her because even when she does things like... I like to be intellectually challenged. That's why I wanted to come here. I wanted to see... how you thought. in an environment that was comfortable for you? Because you came to my house, and I wanted to come to your house. I don't think that's
that day
fair.
was unbelievable. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was a great conversation.
Four
Even my wife
black,
said,
and you guys are going to see it.
Yes.
4 black, very, very passionate black, 4 of them.
yes.
And no one offended anybody for
No.
3 hours.
We made sure that we were there to learn and have conversations.
It was great.
But with her, she did a show, and they put her surrounded by a bunch of conservatives, and there wasn't a foundational black American to be found anywhere.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was like, she's eviscerating them because none of them are on her level.
That's correct.
And it's like the beginning of Rocky 3. He fought a whole bunch of people, but they were good fighters, but they were bums compared to Rocky. So yeah, that's
we
where
have just installed a super thank you on our YouTube page. Guys, you all been asking me in the comment section to install a donation. Now finally, my manager did it. So if you go on YouTube, just look to your right, the 3 dots, click on it, it says super thank you. And unlike Umar Johnson, I'm just asking for your it's not cash up, but please support us, subscribe, follow, send your comments to us. If there's a topic you think you want to hear, ZPR discuss, send it to you. Please subscribe. But go to, it's just newly installed last week, super thank you, so we can keep this show on and you can get to listen to healthy conversations like this from me and Dave Anderson and the Real Black Agenda, exposing the myth, igniting the revolution.
Get the book.
Right? Get the book, read it, and let me know. Thank you very much. Until I see you again next month or next time. Thank you, Dave.
Brother, thank you.
It was good. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.